The man, the recaps, and therefore the recap reviews are back. Full force, full throttle. Providence Night 1 recap. For starters, just right out the gate, the thumbnail. When he throws up almost like an Instagram. So I don't do Instagram. I don't know what the kids are into, but it's almost like having the doctor edited photos, the little fonts and the images. Even put Chomper on his shoulder in the thumbnail. Self-referential Chopper, apparently. But huge fan of the thumbnail editing. But from there, a few things that stood out. The Ohio State shirt, as always, looking good, looking proud, representing Buckeyes. Fun fact I learned recently, Ohio State alumni that you don't hear much about, one Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, Ohio State guy, apparently. But let's get to the meat, that big juicy turkey known as FZ20 recap reviews. He started off mentioning Providence and Chomper Island. And anytime he takes the Chomper idea and just applies it to some sort of any Chomper connotation is gold in my book. But he threw in something that really got me thinking. And it was just two words, but Chomper Cruise. Okay, let's think about this for a second. Just kind of a passing mention, but I think there's a lot we can do with Chomper Cruise. Specifically, an FZ20 cruise. You got the Jam cruise, you got the Alaska cruise, you got the Baltic cruise, Jamaican cruise. I'll throw all those to the side just for a good old fashioned Chomper cruise. By that I mean a Rob Gronkowski style cruise ship where it's focused solely on F-Zappa 20. I don't know how many thousands I got to pay. I don't know how much more I'd be willing to pay than a Riviera Maya trip, but I'd be there. I would be there in a second. It'd be me, David Renwald, Eric Page, all the hardcore FZ fans. We'd all be hanging out, us, FZ, just, my ties and overlooking the whatevers. All right. As far as the recap review, a few things that stuck out. Steam, as always, he does not give Steam credit, and I understand that, but still, it'd be nice to hear him get its due. Also acknowledging that people try to convince him to like Steam. I'm one of them. But a little bit of a Billy Strings reprise. Not sure how I feel about the Billy Strings still. Didn't quite get the Billy Strings mule tie. And does Billy Strings cover Son of a Mule? If so, for acoustic-y virtuoso, it might be a good cover song. If you'd like to hear more of FZ's thoughts on Billy Strings, check out the Billy Strings video from earlier this week. I think he mentioned the Farmhouse album being played. Not sure if he knows that Phish has never will. Actually, no, they did Hoist. They played Hoist all the way through. But I don't think they'll be playing the Farmhouse album. I don't think that's what they want or what fans want. Also questioned some of the songs. A lot of questions about the thongs. Thongs in general, just kind of a strange sort of scenario. Also, one of those moments when you realize FZ is clearly tapped into alternate universes as well as Phish universes. He's talking about fire. He's alluding to the song, and all of a sudden summons his fireplace, just conjures up flames. In the same way that Kuroda summons up the steam during Steam, F-Zappa just snap of the finger, boom. Bigger question, is F-Zappa 20 some sort of Phish god? I'll get to that in a minute. But started to get a little bit slightly lost with the fire. Kind of went off on little like type 2 style recap. Talked about the fire. Not really sure where that ended up, but he got back on track. Segued nicely into the second set. And there's a weird part where he talked about Farmhouse being the possible set closer. I don't know if that's ever happened, and you hate to critique a FZ's knowledge, but Farmhouse is typically a first set song. Sometimes, maybe a little encore, first song encore, but it never closes out the sets that I know of. Bold statement, but also that's what FZ is known for, going out on a limb, shaking things up. But then he follows that up with maybe Joy was the closer. A Joy set closer? Go and get the news out for that. I don't know if they've ever done it, but I saw a Joy encore. Baker's Dozen, the second last night. I was sitting down thinking, all right, I'm going to get save my energy for the big closer, and nope, Joy Encore. That was it. So hopefully he understands the magnitude of negativity that comes with having a Joy closer of any sort. He did acknowledge the walkaway, the importance of walkaway closer. Huge walkaway fan myself, and he actually said that the set may not have deserved a walkaway closer. I understand. I'm with you. Walkaway last time I think closed one of the Hampton runs or one of the New Year's runs and crushed it. Great first set, and they just crushed that walkaway. I didn't hear it, but he understands the importance of a walkaway in the set. And then talks about the encore again. The finger on the pulse. Here's John, Paige, the other two guys. He's tapped in to the point where he knows the bathroom breaks. He knows the dynamics of the encore break and who's telling who to use the bathroom. Trey can use the bathroom. Paige can't. Fishman likely just goes right there and is covered by the moo-moo. Mike Gordon, being some sort of strange alien, probably doesn't even actually urinate. Just has some sort of particles that ascend to his planet. Going back to the questionable calls on what could have been a closer, even throwing out Driver. Are they going to close with Driver? Of course they're not. Of course they're not. It makes more sense closing with In-Laws of Josie Wales. Remember that tune? Makes more sense closing with that than Driver, but still going out there, not worrying about what the stats say, not worrying about the PT world says, just saying this is what I think. I don't care. I'm FC20. I'm the man. Which leads me to this question. Is he a man? Or is he something more? A god? Some sort of deity? And I say that because there was a moment where I think 349 specifically, where he crosses arms as if to be some sort of all-knowing power, just looking down upon the Phish universe. He crosses arms for the rest of the review. It just made me think of this, the Jesus pose. That's the God pose for me. That's the F Zappa 20 God pose. Looking down at his follower, and he the angle he was standing up too. You don't quite get the full effect. I'm sitting down, but him standing up, it's almost like he's towering over the universe. He's looking down upon his people. He's kind of looking at what he's created, looking back on the recap. And in that moment, I said, half man, half God, half man, half fish. I don't know. But he kind of throws us for a loop at the end. I don't know how to end these things. Yeah, you do, buddy. You know where we're going with this. Kind of catches himself, says, I know what I'm doing. I know how it ends. Close it with a solid boom. So several more shows. I like how he's not really calling it a tour. It's just like a weekish of shows, and we'll see what happens. But love having him back. And I think another thing that adds to the reviews is him standing up. Again, it just gives this sense of power and authority where everything he says is coming from this sort of, strong physical posture. So that's what we got. We got FZ, we got recap reviews, and that's it. So I'll end with that. Shout out Eric Page. Boom.